Howdy. So what I wanted to go over today is I have this Convoy S2 Plus that I have been carrying for the better part of 2 years now, and I cannot recommend this thing enough. So I have a few different flashlights here to look at comparatively. Here we have the Energizer that is a PMH-T1L, and that is powered by one CR123 battery. We have this Nebo Redline here, and this is one of the kind that takes the pod of AAAs. Sometimes those ones that take multiple AAAs you can swap out in 18650s, but this one, that is not the case. This will not take an 18650. And here I have this CV Life. It's a generic Amazon flashlight for what I know. This isn't the flashlight that I would carry before I got the Convoy. That one actually broke, but this is very similar to what I would carry. This is just your generic Amazon. This one's an XMLT6, but there's a bunch of different LEDs you can get in these. And this one, once I get this unscrewed, you can see this also takes an 18650. For this one, I have these protected cells because I'm not sure on this flashlight if you can use unprotected cells. But this Convoy S2 Plus, in this one, I use these unprotected cells. This is just you can see the weld points there. This is just a battery that I pulled out of an old laptop battery. If you didn't know, a lot of these laptop batteries, they're just 18650s inside. Some of them have the flat lithium cells, but most of them have these 18650 batteries inside of them. At least the older laptop batteries that were external. The internal ones are almost always the flat pack lithiums now. But this is the Convoy S2 Plus. This has been used and abused. I like this flashlight a lot. I carry it every day, and I use it every day. It has a nice, really nice switch. A charge on one of these typically lasts me about a month. I generally only use it for like maybe 10 minutes a day. One of the reasons I was looking for something else is these generic Amazon lights, they tend to run dry pretty quick. So even if you're not using it that much, the battery would end up being drained after maybe like 2 weeks. Something like this Redline. This is a pretty nice flashlight, but I've kind of grown away from the zoom function. I don't like flashlights with the zoom. I'd rather just have one beam. This one's a little chunky comparatively. And I just don't like not having the option of rechargeable batteries. I know you can get rechargeable AAAs, but it's really not the same as having a dedicated cell for a flashlight. And I can pull these 18650s. I've got old recycled laptop batteries, just boxes of them, so it's nice to have something that I can have a few backups for. So out of all of these flashlights, this would be my second choice. Like, if you absolutely have to have something cheap, these are available for about $14. And these are pretty durable. I've actually used these as weapon lights before. Attach it to a shotgun, and it does pretty well. This is powered by one CR123 battery. You probably know what those look like. And this doesn't have like the coil in the bottom, it's got more of a button. And on the inside, it's just like a single button too. So these don't move around too much in there. So out of these options, this would be my number one, and this would be my number two. This is a nice size, and I'm not sure if you can get rechargeable CR123s, but these batteries last a long time anyways. Yeah, this is a very quality feeling flashlight. I'd say it's almost on par with this. And these are about $14. Last I checked, these are about $25, these Convoy S2 Plus. I replaced the glass in here with an actually glass lens. I don't remember what these come with, but I bought mine, I believe it was Mountain Hardware or something like that where I bought this one, and one of the recommendations was to replace this with an anti-reflective lens, so I did that. It's got a nice metal switch, so you've got your low, medium, high, low, medium, high. There is a way to get strobe and SOS on here, but I really don't like those. So I prefer to have a flashlight that you can turn that option off. Ideally, I'd like just a medium setting, like not even have 3 options to cycle through. But you can see when you turn it on like that, you'll get a flicker, and that means that the next time you turn the flashlight on, it will be on that same setting instead of cycling through to the next. So if you were on low, let's set it to low. Yeah, there's our strobe again. All right, so it flickered. So you turn it off, and the next time you turn it on, it's still on the low. I just really like this flashlight. Just wanted to make a recommendation. I put a little loop on here. You can stick your finger through it, whatever. Like if you're reaching into an engine bay and you don't want to drop the flashlight down and lose it forever, that's a good option. Yeah, you can see this thing has been dropped, rolled, scuffed, little ding here. This thing has not been used gently at all, and it has held up very, very well. The only thing I would say with this is there's not too much of like hump back here to keep you from pressing that button. So there have been a couple times in the past where I've pressed that button on accident in my pocket without knowing it. Just something to be aware of. Yeah, and I use this one with unprotected cells. I think it said on the website I bought it from that is something you can do. Probably always better to use the protected cells anyways, but these are what I have a ton of, so that's what I use. These are water resistant. I don't know how waterproof they are, but I have had it in my pocket before while wet or even submerged, and it hasn't had any issues. There's a rubber gasket in front of this lens and over here on this side. You can see there. I usually keep a small film of petroleum jelly on that just to help with that waterproofing. But it really hasn't been an issue. I've had pretty much 0 problems with this. The one issue I did have was it got really hot in my pocket one day because it was turned on. But I just turned it off and kind of hung it out the window while I was driving, and it cooled off. But that is one thing that you have to worry about with these unprotected cells is thermal runaway. So if it gets too hot, the battery could go kablooey, but that's just something that you deal with lithium batteries. Not really something that's escapable. I mean, just look at all the videos of these electric cars just going up in flames. Yeah, so I'll probably show some video of what these look like in the dark, since it is starting to get dark now. If I do, I'll see you in a second. It's not completely dark yet, but I think it's dark enough to illustrate. So here I have the XML T6 generic Amazon flashlight. So here is, so you just got to cycle through. Here's the wide, here's focus, goes all the way down to the square. That's high, medium, low. And then we're back to the blinky bits. Here is the Nebo red line. So there's your wide, and there's your narrow. Doesn't quite go down to the square, but I don't really like that they do go down to the square. Here is our energizer. You got a nice cone in the middle, and then you have the kind of a more diffused spread. You got your low. There's flash. Yeah, looks like we just got a medium or a high, low, and a flash. So finally, our Convoy S2 Plus. There's our low. Flash. SOS. There's your low again. Medium. High. So what I like about this is there's not quite as pronounced as a cone, and you've got really good light in the center, and you got a nice big diffused area. So you kind of get the best of both. Don't know if that's good enough, but that's what I got. So again, out of these, my two favorites is the Energizer, high, low, strobe, and the Convoy. There's your high, party mode, SOS, low, medium, high. You get the idea. The party mode's not so big a deal for me. Don't really need that. I do like having a low that's actually low. That's pretty nice. And if you look over here, we got some ducks. They're just wandering. It's really close to their bedtime and they shouldn't be out of the coop, but here they are.